Hello, everyone. Thank you for visiting us and learning more about Universal Aviation Worldwide Ground Handling Services. We're speaking with Jana Lopez about operations to Mexico. Jana is Customer Experience Coordinator for Universal Aviation Mexico. So good to have you with us. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right, let's just jump right in. Mexico is always a popular leisure and business destination. And now with COVID restrictions making other parts of the world less open for holiday travel, Mexico is even more attractive as an option due to its accessibility. Jana, can you tell us what is the status of resort and leisure activity and leisure areas in the country right now?
Yeah, they are all open, but the capacity and availability will depend on the traffic light system we are working with. And also, based on that, it's going to be the restrictions that you may find in the place you are going to visit. Also, it is important to know that all the protocols are going to, they're following all the health protocols established by the health department.
Right. And so, for example, those are the protocols that we're all become used to now, the face mask wearing, social distancing, hand cleansing, correct?
Yes, all those protocols that we all know, including avoid crowd places and the measure of the body temperature are also the other ones that you have to consider.
All right, good to know. And you mentioned something that I really do want to touch on. Mexico has something unique, their traffic light system. Could you tell us more about that?
Yes, this traffic light system was implemented by the Mexican government as a way to monitor the number of cases per state and also to know the risk of contagion. This traffic light system is divided into 4 different colors: red, orange, yellow, and green. Red color means that all the essential economic activities are allowed, but public spaces will be closed. Orange color, in addition, that means that in addition to the essential economic activities, public spaces are open, but only at 30% of their normal capacity. Yellow color means that all working activities are allowed and public spaces are open only at 60% of their normal capacity. Green color means that all activities, including school activities, are allowed and public spaces are open with no restrictions at their full capacity. Consider that this traffic light system changes every week. So it is recommended that you verify the status of the state you are going to visit in order to know the restrictions and what to expect regarding the activities, resorts, hotels, restaurants, etc.
No, that makes sense. And if I recall correctly, Jana, you mentioned that there was a website available where the latest updates on the traffic light status for each state could be seen?
Yeah, that's correct. There you will see the status, a map where it shows all the states and the color that each state is.
Okay, great. I will make sure that that's included here at the end of the presentation so everyone has easy access to it. So I think that's a really good segue. We can now dig directly into operational impact of COVID and current operations into Mexico. So arrivals and departures into Mexico, are they different right now from before COVID?
Yes. Well, I mean that CIQ arrival and departure processes remain the same, but new health protocols have been implemented by the Civil Aviation Authority document. This document is called COSA, COSA 9.1. This document is under continuous review, so the authorities may know what updates are going to be necessary.
Okay, and then let's dig further into the health screening component upon arrival, as well as what you need to be prepared for before you get there. So health screening requirements for operators and passengers, COVID testing, and contact tracing requirements specifically.
Yeah, well, COVID-19 tests are not required prior or on arrival in Mexico as up to date. However, as part of the health requirements established by the Civil Aviation Authority, there is a health assessment form that must be completed. You need to complete it on arrival and for departure. And a health inspector or immigration officer must get that document. On this form, you should include some information such as the countries or cities you have visited in the last 14 days, if you have been in contact with a positive case of COVID-19, and if you have some symptoms related to COVID-19, such as temperature of 38 degrees or more, frequent cough or sneezing, breathing difficulty, headaches, sore throat. If someone has symptoms, a second interview will be performed by the authority, and as necessary, they may ask you to remain in quarantine for at least 14 days. If this is the case, there is another form that should be completed. This is called locator passenger form, in order to follow up the symptoms that they present. And all the people traveling with him or her should be registered on that form as well.
To make it easy, should there need to be a need to further contact and track. That makes sense. Is there a temperature check upon arrival?
Yes, not only upon arrival, but also for departure. Yeah.
Okay, good to know. And speaking of testing, are COVID tests available on demand on arrival into the country?
They are not available, but in some airports, you might find rapid test or PCR test. It is recommended to ask for them prior to your arrival, at least 24 hours, because the delivery of the results, it varies from 24 to 72 hours.
That makes sense, Hannah. So bottom line, be sure to plan in advance if you do need access to tests once in the country.
Yeah, that's correct.
And I have one more question for you, which has really become a popular and important one because it is becoming more and more common in many locations. Is medical insurance currently required, or is it just recommended for operators traveling into Mexico?
Yeah, no medical insurance is legally required, but of course it is advisable to have one.
Okay, well, that we covered a lot in a very short time there, Hannah, and thank you for sharing your expertise. It's really been a pleasure getting to know more about you and your location. Sounds like we should all make time for a visit to Mexico this season, and I know I'd be at the very top of that list if I could. So for more information about Universal Aviation Mexico and all our Universal Aviation locations, visit universalaviation.aero, see the link below for access. Thank you, Hannah, and I hope we get to talk again soon.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.